you don't want to deal with the big guys, competition, because it's just so there's just so much work. You have to spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to compete with someone that has 100 million rewards members. It's just very hard to do in independent unless you're in like a resort town.
I'm curious on you mentioned in the kind of in the intro 8 to 9 caps, right?
Mhm.
And seeing much more competitive than, let's say, 4 to 6 caps with multifamily. Maybe talk through a recent deal that you put together that you're or the offers you're putting on deals or deals that you close. Just give us anything to give us kind of a feel for where you think the hotel industry is at this point for investing in commercial real estate.
Sure. One of the deals we just did, and personally, I like to do franchise under the Marriott, under the Hyatt, under the Hiltons, under the Wyndham's Choice. I don't do independents because it's like um, you don't want to deal with the big guys, competition, because it's just so there's just so much work. You have to spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to compete with someone that has 100 million rewards members. It's just very hard to do in independent unless you're in like a resort town. Then it makes sense. The deal that we did, it was 64 keys, 5 million. It was around 10 and a half cap. It grosses about 1.35, 1.4 million. And then you go through just like you would a multifamily. What kind of expenses are there? How can you save? Are you going to use property management or not? So you go through those types of things. How many employees, and then what can you save? So that's very similar. What's the area? That's very, very important because it's not long-term housing. The hotel industry is it off the highway? Is it in a major city? Uh, what kind of access does it have? So those are the things that you think of. What we call in the hotel industry is we call it drivers. What drives somebody to stay at this hotel? Pre-COVID, we'd say, hey, it's by university. Who cares? There's always going to be students. Well, not during COVID. If you're next to a resort or ski resorts, well, that's one driver. But let's say that you're off the highway, you're in between, like going from Texas to California. You're just in a very nice spot, easy to get to. It's a transient hotel, but it's also right across the street from a hospital. So you have all these different things in all these different areas. It could be next to spring training. There's several drivers that we look at. This one in Arizona, it's next to four different drivers, plus it's in a business park. So that's one of the things that during our analysis and due diligence, we look at why would someone want to come and stay at this hotel? And then within that class, what is your competition? Hotels are a lot like your car dealerships. You can have a row of car dealerships all on the same street. People are like going, that doesn't make sense. Well, you have the Ford loyal people, you have the GM loyal people, Toyota. It's the same thing with hotels. We can have four hotels all in the row, but as long as they're not the same category or not the same brand, then it's fine. My Wyndham can be right next to a Choice, can be right next to a Marriott because people want to get those points and those rewards. Once we do that due diligence, and hotels probably take 6 or 7 months to close. It's a long process. One of the great things about being a business is we can do CMBS loans, we can do SBA loans. So it's not just conventional or variable rate. So we have some options there because it is a business. So we want to put that type of what kind of loan package do we want to put in? Um, and then it goes from there. You have to qualify with the franchise. They're not going to be allow you to embarrass them and run a hotel, one of their branded hotels, into the ground. So you have that process also. You have to be vetted by the franchise. So it is a very fun process, but it's rewarding in the end.